you to keep your cameras on. Audible? Visible?
Yes, sir.
All right. We have another minute and then we get started. All right. Those of you keeping your cameras off, I don't understand why so. Nevertheless, how's your paper? Good, bad, I don't care. All right. That is exactly what you have to tell yourself. I repeat, how was your paper? Good, bad, I don't care. Why? Because you're done with it. You can't go back and change it. I repeat, 99% of you might be sitting thinking about that one adjustment entry, that one accounting question, that one entry. No nonsense. All right. Can you go ahead and make the changes? Answer is nah. When you cannot make the changes, why do you want to think about it? All right. Simple point. First paper is slightly new for us. So obviously that tension will be there. There will be an impact accordingly. You don't have to worry about it. I repeat, your paper was good. What else can you ask for? Your paper was bad. Can you make change again? Answer is no. So what else can you do now? Nothing. Ignore. Next 3 papers, let us do the best that we can. Am I audible to everyone? Yes. Those
Yes,
of
sir.
you who are hiding your faces behind the cameras, I don't understand why so. Insist you to keep your cameras on. We have exactly 30 minutes. So let's spend 30 minutes on seeing the subject and learning a couple of things which we might not want to do during the examination. Am I clear, everyone? Yes.
Yes, sir.
My
Yes.
energy is fine.
Yes.
Yes,
Something's
sir.
wrong with your energy then. All right. Audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Most of you thinking, sir, we've just finished one treacherous paper. Now you don't give another treacherous session of 1 hour. Relax. No worries. What we are going to do is this entire 30 minutes that we spent, 15 minutes we are going to spend on what to do and what not to do during the exams. And last 15 minutes, we are going to touch upon important areas while you're preparing for the chapters which we have handled. Understanding, everyone? Yes. Those areas which you might want to spend extra time. Now, please forget about everything else. You just have 1.5 days. Let us ensure that at least those important areas we are touching upon. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sleepy?
No.
No, sir.
Brilliant. Let's get started. All right. So the topic is refresh to relax. So you have to chillax now. All right. Forget about everything else. Close all your books and just listen to me. You already have the material. Important points, gentle reminders. Why gentle reminders? Because we would have discussed this somewhere or the other. All right. I would have mentioned this. Nevertheless, we are born to forget. So that's why a reminder. Let's quickly get started with the first point. Question paper comprises of only descriptive questions, no MCQs. Am I clear, everyone? Yes.
Yes,
Those
sir.
of you who are sitting in CPT desk, Rangoli competition, no. This time ICI said, let us play Rangoli competition at intermediate. All right. So you will not have any sort of MCQs at the stage of CA Foundation. I hope I'm clear, everyone. So the questions are going to be descriptive. Clear, everyone? Yes. Next, take calculators. All right. So ensure that you please carry your calculator, even though it is a theory paper. 1 plus 1, now it is fine. 1 plus 1 during the examination may not be fine. I hope I'm clear, everyone. Understanding? So let us not take a chance. Let us carry the calculator. Next, read the question twice. Do not attempt to assume what the question could be. This is the biggest problem that we have. All right. Assume we have not read Negotiable Instruments Act at all. Next 1.5 days, we have not read Negotiable Instruments at all. Possible. Assume. All right. Tanushri, I'm not saying you will not read. I'm just saying assume you have not read. Possible, possible. Now what will you do? Read the question. Last sentence, negotiable instrument. Ignore it. We will not write this answer. Don't do this mistake. There are high possibilities from tricky chapters, easy questions. I repeat, there are high possibilities of getting simple question from those questions, those topics, all right, which you might have thought of ignoring, or you might think it is tricky, it is difficult. Don't do the blunder. Read the question twice. How do we read the question? Last sentence first, then read the entire question. I repeat, I'm not asking you to answer based on the last sentence. I am asking you to read the last sentence first and then read the entire question once. All right. That will give you a flavor of the topic. That is the whole objective. Clear, everyone? Yes. Next, write the question number in the middle of the page. During the mock series, we have clearly learned this. We are not going to do the mistake of playing treasure hunt with the evaluator. All right. Don't do this mistake. In the middle of the page, your question number has to be there. Every question, new page. Every answer, new page. It is not going to be save paper project, save environment during the examination. Am I clear, everyone? Understanding? Even after telling this, I know students, they end up writing in the same page. If you don't write, you're smart. If you write, evaluator, how much time he has, based on that, he is going to evaluate. All right. If you want him to sit and search your answers, maybe not. Next, write in points. All right. We are not going to write paragraphs. Very, very clear. All the answers have to be in pointers. Nisarga there? Yes. So whatever pointers you're going to write, you have to make it a point that you will underline the keywords. Understanding, everyone? Yes. Underline the keywords, because it is very clear, guys. You want to draw the evaluator's attention only to the main answer. Rest you would have written Kal Ho Na Ho, Mohabbatein, all the Hindi Kannada movies you would have written, given it's a theory paper. All right. Don't do this. Please ensure that you write what is relevant. Second thing, underline the keywords. The objective is to draw the attention of the evaluator to those keywords and solve the point. I hope I'm clear, everyone. Understanding? Yes. Next thing. Best foot forward. First question which you write has to be the best question you know amongst all the 6 or 7. All right. Sir, I don't know the entire question paper, but there is one question which I know entirely well. All right. I know really well. You will write that one question first. I mean, there's obvious. All right. There's no question at all. Please note, whichever question you're going to write first, even before you start answering that first question, read all the sub questions also, and then attempt that main question. Why? Question 1 I know, question 3 I know, sir, question 2 somewhere I don't know. Don't do this kalle puri there. All right. No masal puri is being served in the answer script. Please make it a point to ensure that you first attempt the question where you know all the sub questions as well. Your first question has to be the one where you know all the sub questions. Sir, what if I don't know? Then you have no option. Write whatever you know. As simple as that. As simple as that. Understood, everyone? Yes. Next. Your pace, the speed of writing will not be picked up in the last 15 minutes. Today also, multiple of you sitting here would have done the blunder of not finishing the question paper. All right. If you've done this crime, 100% you have to tell yourself. You will have to blame yourself. I repeat, your speed need not be picked up in the last half an hour. It has to be from the first minute itself. In the first 1 hour, when you're writing the answer script, you must get the confidence that you will clear this paper. You should have written enough to clear the paper in the first 1 hour. Am I making sense to everyone? 35 marks minimum has to be attempted in the first 1 hour. Logic being, first 1 hour, if you are clear that I've written for 30 to 35 marks, next 2 hours, you can peacefully attempt for the next rest 65 marks. Am I making sense to everyone? Yes. So first 1 hour, best 1 hour, this will make it or break it. Am I clear? Yes. Next, write a page. All right. I will come to sleep well later on. Write a page with the pen you intend to use in the examination. I have told you time and again, please ensure the pen. First of all, today, whatever pen you've used, you're not going to use that pen. Sir, thoda refill hai, little ink left. No nonsense, guys. Please go buy a new pen. I will pay for it. Don't worry. All right. The whole point is use a new pen and ensure you write with it today and tomorrow itself, so that that pen nib becomes easier. If it is whatever, the instrument is safer and easier for you to use. As simple. Understood? Next. Carry water. Lemonade. I don't want to emphasize here much. Dispose the question paper immediately after the examination. Will I get it home? Answer is no. I am telling you, most of you have done this blunder. Today also, after getting the question paper home, you've sat and evaluated whether you will get 40 or not. I'm telling you, no, you've just checked if you've got 40 or not. don't do this mistake. Please tear the question paper then and there outside the examination hall. Tear it, tear it. All right, sir, all those emotions that you have attached with the question paper, don't keep it. Please mind me on a very serious note. I want you to tear the question paper then and there in the examination hall after your exams, not before, after your exams, and then come out of the examination hall. Am I making sense, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Whether you believe it or not, if you had the question paper today at home, you would have sat and checked whether you cleared the paper or not. If you haven't done it, you're one step closer to getting through with the next paper as well. Because if somebody who sat and checked if I've cleared 40 and by mistake, if they realize they've got 30 or 20, they will not be able to focus on this paper. I'm telling you. I am telling you, you will not be able to focus on this paper. The only objective, that's why I'm asking you to tear the question paper immediately then and there. Next. Guys, suppose you know nothing in the question paper. Entire question paper is bouncer. There comes your attitude. Possible 100% ICI can do anything with us. All right. It is as good as we are their experimental lab rats. They can do anything on us. In that situation, you have to maintain your attitude. What will you do? Okay, I don't know this answer. All right. I'm not able to recollect. Let me read the question at least twice and write what could be the answer. During the classes, if you've been honest to your education, 100% you will sail through. There is no second thought at all. Have you been honest? If the answer is yes, you will clear. Sir, no, sir, I've not been honest. Now, next 1.5 days, please be honest and clear the paper. As simple. All right. Next, read the question carefully. I'm telling you, where you will miss marks, where you will lose marks is not on those simple direct questions. All right. Rather, where you will lose marks is in the place which are direct, simple questions. Why? You know, you think you know, and you will not write enough. You will not write the relevant points. This is exactly what you did during the mock tests as well, if you remember. All right. Simple questions, you were not able to get enough marks. Please make it a point that you, if you know the answer well, ensure that you have to hit a century there. Am I making sense, everyone? Yes. If I know that this particular question is the best question which I know, I have to give the best that I can, but does not mean I will sit for 3 hours and keep writing that one answer itself. Am I clear, everyone? Yes. Next. Don't panic while I've mentioned. Guys, worst paper. I'm telling you, even if it is the worst, it will not be. But even if it is, all right, don't give up on yourself. Sit there for 3 hours. You will be able to write something or the other. All right. Because the topics which you have learned is something which you have learned at first PUC, second PUC, and then you're writing this examination. So you are well versed with the syllabus. Am I making sense? Yes. Next. Don't assume that you will not know the answer before reading the question. Please read the question and then come to a conclusion. Section numbers. Next 1.5 days. All right. Listen to me very carefully. How much ever you can read the section numbers, good. No, sir, I was not able to read the section numbers. No problem. I repeat, no problem. All right. But don't write wrong section numbers in the examination and come back home. It will annoy the evaluator. He will not give you enough marks that you deserve. Although your entire answer might be right, but you might not get marks. All right. I know the section number, write the section number. As per section 2 clause 85 of the Companies Act 2013 talks about your small company. I know the section, I will write. I don't know the section. As per Companies Act 2013, the meaning of the word small company is so and so. I don't know which act it is. As per the provision of law. Possible? Please write as per provision of law. No problem at all. Understanding, everyone? Yes. Next 1.5 days, don't sit and memorize 4 or 5 hours only section numbers. No. If you could have done that earlier, you should have done. If you can't do it, if you didn't do it, don't do it now. It's absolutely fine. All right. Don't waste extra time on remembering or memorizing section numbers. Do all that if you finish the syllabus. Clear? Next. Time for 4 marks and a 2-marker question cannot be same. A 2-marker answer has to be written only for 4 points. Or you're going to write only 4 points for a 2-marker question. You're not going to write pages together just because you know the topic well. At the end of the day, you will still get 2 marks only. While for a question which is 4-marker, you have to make an attempt of writing at least 6 points so that if one goes wrong, you have the other one to save you. Am I making sense to everyone? Yes. Next, try different presentation formats, tables, charts, underlining. Very, very clear. Whatever answers you're writing, it has to be underlined. First point. Second thing, when it comes to your answers, can I write in a different format instead of writing paragraphs? That is exactly what we have learned. Example, facts of case, provision of law, analysis, conclusion. What are we doing? We are just presenting the answer in a better way. All right, that will make the life of the evaluator also easy. So make it a point to try some new presentation. Start with the pattern, manner of writing section numbers. I've already taught, all right? Section numbers have to be written along with the name of the act and year of the act. If you don't know the section number, just write the name of the act and year of the act. If you don't know both, write as per the provision of law. Clear, Shreya? Next. Other laws, important, not to be forgotten. Very, very important point. What are other laws that we are talking about? I am talking about laws like simple laws like your first chapter, Indian judiciary system. All right. Simple chapter like partnership, easy chapter like LLP. These three chapters itself will give you 20 to 25 marks. Minimum 25 marks you can expect from these three chapters itself. Cakewalk, Indian judiciary system, partnership, LLP. Am I making sense, everyone? Yes. Make it a point that you give the best towards it. Next, few case laws. If possible, keep it handy. In chapters like Indian Contract Act, Sale of Goods Act, all right, you might come across a couple of case laws. If possible, keep it handy. No, sir, I'm not able to recall. Should I still spend hours together? No need. It's okay. At least learn the principle. What is the principle from the case law? Understood? Sleepy? Next. Language. Very, very important. You're writing law paper, not a love letter. You will not use languages like says, tells, section 2 clause 85 says, subsidiary or small company means a company which is satisfying following condition. Nah. You will not use language like says, tells. All of these words are not acceptable. Then what can I use? Provides, states. These are the two words which you can use. All right. Very simple word. States or provides. Clear, Disha? Understanding? Next. Answer first question, best question. I've already spoken about it. Fresh page per policy. Every answer in a new page. All right. Now, let's get into the technical topics. What are we going to talk about now, sir? We are just going to see extra focus points for the next 1.5 days. All right. While you're reading other things, you continue reading. But on these topics, pay extra attention while you're reading. As simple as that. Understanding? 99% of the cases, these could be the questions in examinations as well. Could be. All right. So please pay attention while you're reading to these topics. A little extra focus will save you. Can I get started?
Yes, sir.
The first topic. What is the first topic? Indian judiciary system. All right. 0 to 5%. I have seen in a couple of mock papers as well as the previous attempt, they ask a question for 5 marks or 6 marks from this chapter. What is that extra focus which you will have to pay attention? I repeat, read the entire chapter. But while you're reading the entire chapter, pay extra focus on these topics. That is the whole objective. Am I making sense to everyone? Yes. So what are those extra focus points? First one, principle of natural justice. They can ask you to write a short note on what is the principle of natural justice. Various ministries that you've learned. Example, what are the ministries? It could be your finance ministry. All right. It could be Ministry of Corporate Affairs. All of these are the various ministries which can be asked. What are the various institutions that you've come across? Example, IBBI. What is that? Insolvency, bankruptcy. All right. RBI, SEBI. These three are important. They usually ask a question on write a short note for 6 marks on these three topics. Cakewalk. Cakewalk. Able to appreciate what we are talking about, everyone? Yes. The next point is Indian judicial system. 100% extra focus. How law is made? What is the process of making law? What is the judicial system as well? What is this judicial system? Supreme Court, High Court, district courts. You have magistrates, metropolitan courts and session courts as well. All right, or session courts and metropolitan courts. So that is something that you will have to read while you're reading the law. First chapter over. I am telling you 6 marks could come from this chapter. Clear? Next, the BAP and the easiest topic which each one of you sitting here are confident. Indian Partnership Act, 15 to 20%. Minimum 15 marks, maximum 20 marks. You cannot afford losing even half mark in this chapter. Why? Because this is the best chapter amongst all the chapters that we've seen. Getting some confidence? Yes. So what is important in this chapter? What are the definition? One definition itself wraps up the entire topic. If you've seen, all right, definition will give me answers to so many other subtopics as well. So ensure that you know the definition well. Next, rights of a partner. Partnership property, section 14. What is a partnership property? Along with this, there are a few case studies which they ask. Co-ownership. I am using the land of my partner. Does it become the property of the partnership? Couple of case studies are there. Just look into those case studies as well. All of you who are already panicking, listening to the topic, sir, I don't know this, I don't know that. You have next 1.5 days. That's why we are discussing, so that you can read those topics. Understanding? Next, personal profits, 100% case study question. All right. They ask case studies from this. Next, agency characteristics, superpower, Superman. Do you remember? All right, that we've spoken about here, that we have a superpower of implied authority and all of that. Next, minor partner. All right.
Minor being admitted to
No
benefits.
concept of
Minor being admitted to the benefits of partnership. Two things. Before minor, after minor, or rather, before minor and after turning major. What are the rights and liabilities? 6 months, or whenever he gets to know, whichever is later, he has to inform the third parties, or else he will continue being liable. Understanding? Expulsion of a partner. Which story?
Party.
Party. Do you remember? Which you guys will plan up after your 2-3 examinations. We'll talk about that later. Consequences of non-registration of partnership firm. What will happen if you don't register your partnership firm? Important topic. Clear with the concept, everyone? Yes, this is about your Indian Partnership Act. I repeat, we are talking about extra focus points. We are talking about those topics which might require extra attention while you're reading. Rest of the topics do read, but this, please focus extra. Clear?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Can I
sir.
get
Yes,
a
sir.
little energy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Next point. Limited liability partnership. How to read this chapter? Finish Partnership Act, finish Companies Act, and then you read the Bhelpuri. Why? Because it will become it'll make your life easier. It is nothing but the Bhelpuri of Indian Partnership Act and Companies Act. I hope I'm clear, everyone. Understanding? Yes. So ensure you read this. Again, very, very easy chapter. 5 marks at your disposal. 5 marks minimum at your disposal. Minimum 5 marks. Simple topic. Again, please make extra efforts while you're reading. Foreign LLP. What is this concept of foreign LLP? Make an extra attention. Pay extra focus and attention while you're reading this. Characteristics of LLP. Partners and their relations. Liability of the partners in an LLP. Who is this designated partner? If you remember, I had mentioned designated partner, 2 individuals, out of which one has to be a resident. How to calculate who is a resident? Important. Second thing, if there are body corporates, who will become the designated partner in that situation? Important topics. Understood? The last one, if you are lucky, they will ask differentiate between LLP and company, differentiate between LLP and partnership. If you are lucky, this can come as a question for 5 marks. That's why I want you to read this chapter after you finish Companies Act as well as Partnership Act. Last chapter, which most of you are scared, but you shouldn't be, Negotiable Instruments Act. All right, guys, you forgot I'm a student even now. All right, so I know where you guys are coming from. Please make it a point not to skip this chapter because you have a preconceived notion of considering this to be slightly tricky. It is not. You will get simple questions from here. Why? You've seen this chapter already in accounts. What is important from this topic? Abhay, 10 to 15 marks minimum from this chapter. What all is important in this chapter? Let's quickly see. All right. Meaning of negotiable instruments. If you do the mistake of not writing the entire definition, slap yourself then and there. What is the definition? Promissory note, bill of exchange, check. Answer complete. Correct?
No, payable to
Payable to bearer.
order.
Either to the
Order
bearer
of this.
or to the order of a certain person. Do you remember? If you come back home writing this 100%, you will have to slap yourself. All right. So please note extra focus on what is negotiable instrument. Extra focus when you're reading the definition of each of the negotiable instruments. Example, what is a promissory note? What is a bill of exchange? What is a check? In check again, if you forget writing what is a truncated check, what is an electronic check, we have learned all stories. I've practically told you how a truncation works, how a clearing house is set up, how you take a scan copy, photocopy and send it out. All stories we have narrated. All right. Please pay extra attention on that. Characteristics, again, important. Classification of instruments. One favorite examination question: inland, foreign instrument, inchoate and ambiguous instrument. Please make extra attention. Please pay extra attention while you're reading this topic. All right. I will not be surprised if they come up with a question on inchoate and ambiguous instrument. The last one is presentment of instrument. When is it necessary? When is it not necessary? I repeat, when is it necessary? When is it not necessary? Both you must know. What is presentment? When is it unnecessary? You might not want to present. This is one of the topics which you will have to pay attention. Clear, everyone? Understanding? Couple of amendments are there which you will have to pay attention. Where are these amendments? In your CAPS material, we have updated. In your revision material, we have updated. It is very much there in your study material. In all the RTPs, these topics are there. So you don't have to get scared. What are the amendments? First one, the concept of small LLP. Foreign LLP, small LLP. Just like you have a small company, you have a concept of small LLP also. Understanding, everyone? Yes. Next, changes in designated partner. Now, there is a small change in designated partner. Whatever is there that we have seen, 120 days, 182 days, there is some staying individual who has to be resident, something that we had seen. All right. Those of you who are getting scared, don't. The objective of this session is so that you don't get scared. You have 1.5 days to pay your attention to what is required. Last topic. There are couple of topics on unlimited LLP. What is this unlimited LLP? When the LLP's liability will become unlimited. It is there in your revision material. Don't worry. Pay attention to what we are discussing right now. Last one. Amendment in your Companies Act. Of course, Rajdeep sir will mention about it. Small company amendment. All right. What is the amendment? Now it does not remain as an amendment anymore. Paid up capital 4 crores. Turnover 40 crores. Earlier, it was some other figure. You don't have to bother about it. Right now, 4 crores, 40 crores. Simple. What is small LLP? Sir, you shouldn't ask these kind of questions. You have 1.5 day. Pay. Please make a point to ensure that you find out small company 4 crores, 40 crores. Rajdeep sir is elder. Rajdeep sir has come into teaching before Mehul. All right. So Rajdeep sir has those figures in crores. Mehul is still in lakhs. There is some story which we have built around it. Do you remember? If you don't, next 1.5 days, you at least make a note of the amount which is relevant. Understanding, everyone? Small LLP, small company, important. With this, I come to an end. All right. Listen to me very carefully, guys. Don't carry any sort of preconceived notion that it's a theory paper. How will I write? How much will I write? Most of us sitting here are students of business studies. You have business studies in your syllabus. Ask yourself, how much did you study for that subject? Were you able to sail through or not? Same way you will be able to sail through with this paper as well. All right. Doable paper. It's going to be simple. It's not going to be too complicated and all. They want people for intermediate. So don't worry about it. They will have to push you guys. All right. You please be honest for the next 1.5 days and give the best that you can. All right. With this, I wrap up. Thank you so much and all the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All the menu bar, Zoom meet alert audio now unmuted.
Happy evening, all of you.
Happy evening, sir.
Happy evening, sir.
So you all got some tips on business law so far? Let me put on my video and see if you can see me. You all can see me?
Yes, sir.
What can you see? My face, my nose, my head? Or is it proper, Bhavna?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
Because once I put on my video and somebody told me, sir, your chest is very nice. So I thought, what is he telling? Chest is very nice. Then I came to know that my video was below my chin. One person I told, sir, you've got a very good fan. Then I came to know it was high. Now it's proper, no, Bhavna?
Yes,
What
sir.
is it?
It's proper.
What is proper?
Everything.
Everything is proper. So how
Yes,
was
sir.
how was the exam today? Accounts good, huh? No,
Yes,
don't
sir.
worry. Whether it's good or bad, you say it's good only. Correct or no? Okay. All of you are there. There was this lady. She went with her daughter to a mall. I don't know if I told you this, but anyway, I'll tell you again. I've told you about the story.
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Imagine Bhavna after her 7, 8 years, she's got married and she's got one 5-year-old kid. Correct or no? Bhavna's kid is there. What's her Bhavna's kid's name? Chivna, Chikka Bhavna. What you'll call him? Chinna. Correct. What's her name? Chinna. So this Chinna will see one teddy bear on the. Okay, leave it. I'm not telling that story because Bhavna is getting angry. But Bhavna is getting.
No, sir. No, sir.
Hmm. Okay. And leave that story. I'll tell that other story later. But just understand that your business law paper is a very, very important paper for you all. And I know that whatever you'll have done in your accounts or whatever you'll have done in your, it doesn't make any difference. But what has happened. What is important is your future. I always tell this in every session that there is a beautiful saying which goes, yesterday is a cancelled check. You cannot cash it. Tomorrow is a promissory note. You cannot rely on it. Today is hard cash, spend it. So whatever has happened in the past, there is no university in the world which will allow you to cancel whatever you have done, right? So whatever has happened has happened. So let's look forward into this business law paper. Already Mehul sir has given you a lot of tips on how to handle the paper. So I'll be taking only for 10 or 15 minutes. Remember, you know the format of the paper. We've discussed it so many times. We've done an RTP, we've done an MTP. There are 6 questions of 20 marks each. You have to answer any 5. I told you the first question is compulsory. Out of the remaining 5, you have to choose 4. And I told you, whenever you're choosing those 4, don't choose the ones which you want to do. As you're doing the paper, second one, let's say you say 667, you just have a quick look of the question, and if you can answer everything, go ahead with it, because you have to leave out only one question. What you have to leave out? Only one question.
One question.
So see in that, because every question will have 2 ABC, 3 ABC, 4 ABC. So wherever you don't know 2 parts of the question, leave that out. Where you know all 3, attempt those first. I've already told you 2 ABC, 3 ABC, 4. It need not be going in order. You can do 5 ABC first, then you can do 2 ABC. Where you know all the 3 parts, attempt that first. Then the ones which you know 2 parts, see if you have a choice which you know better, attempt those. So be very careful while selecting those questions, because that can be the difference between you passing and failing the exam. You already know, Mehul sir told you, limited liability partnership is 6 marks. The first chapter, that is that judicial system in India, 6 marks, right? Correct? 12 marks. Out of the remaining 108 marks, you have 5 big chapters. Indian Contract Act, Sale of Goods Act, Companies Act, Partnership Act, and Negotiable Instruments Act. And Negotiable Instruments Act is generally around 12 marks. They give you 2 questions of 12 marks. So you know 6 plus 6, 12, 12 plus 12, 24. Remaining 96 marks is divided among 4 chapters. What it is divided among 4?
Chapters.
Chapters, correct? You know, Sale of Goods Act, Contract Act, Companies Act, and Partnership Act, correct? You know, so be careful because you know which chapters you know. So if you're confident of these small chapters, limited liability, Indian judicial system, negotiable instruments, do that. Of 24 marks is safe. Then you have to attempt only remaining 76, right? Out of the remaining 96 marks. I've already told you how to handle a case study. You have to mention facts of the case, provisions and analysis, and conclusion. You may need not write it down, but you write it down. I already told you how to handle a theory paper, means theory questions, opening body and conclusion. What it is, opening body and
Conclusion.
conclusion. We've also discussed that Indian Contract Act. What are the chapters you have? The first one is Introduction to Contract. What are the important key points in that Introduction to Contracts? You have types of contracts. So they'll give you which of those following is it, explain which a person places an order for goods and he leaves the goods in the store. The storekeeper finds those goods and keeps it. What type of contract is it? Quasi contract, correct, Anu? A man picks up a gets into a bus to travel from place A to place B. What type of contract is it? Implied?
Contract.
Contract.
Well, all forgot, huh? So they might ask you questions on types of contracts, essentials of a valid contract, which are covered under section 10, which are not covered under section 10. I hope you remember that first chapter. Second chapter was, and in that first chapter, we also did offer and acceptance. So essentials of a valid offer, essentials of valid acceptance, very important with all the case laws, right from Balfour versus Balfour to Dalai Haldar versus Sheikh Mohammed. We've done several cases in offer and acceptance, right or no? Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Ramsgate, Victoria Hotel, all those cases, just go through them once so that you'll get the gist of the chapter. Second chapter we did was consideration. What is important? Consideration is an important chapter because there are three questions which can come. One is essentials of a valid consideration. When second is what are the circumstances under which there are no consideration, no contract. Even then the contract is valid. They'll generally give you a case study. And third point is when can the stranger to a contract sue? When can the stranger, the difference between stranger to a contract and stranger to a consideration. Remember that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then we had the next chapter, which was the most important chapter, other essentials of a valid contract, where we did capacity to contract, three categories of people who are exempted from entering into a contract: minor, then
Unsound mind.
and disqualified by law. And then we did free consent 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22. 16, 17, 18. What is it? 15, 16, 17, 18, right? 15 is coercion, section 15. Section 16 is undue influence. Section 17 is fraud. Section 18 is misrepresentation. 20, 21, 22 is mistake. So go through all those. Those are also. Then we did legality of object. When is the contract legal? When it is illegal? And in this, there is one topic which is very important. And every time they give case studies from that, it is called agreements opposed to public policy. Remember trading with an enemy, etc. Right? Trafficking in public awards, maintenance and champati. We have done all that. Agreements opposed to policy. And then we did agreements expressly declared void. We also did a chapter called performance of a contract. Remember? Performance of a contract. What is performance? Discharge of a contract. What is discharge of a contract? What is performance of a contract? Actual breach, anticipatory breach. The ways in which contract can be discharged by mutual agreement, novation, alteration, rescission, remission, waiver. Also an important topic in that particular is quasi contracts and contingent contract. Quasi contract, right from 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, right? Finder of lost goods means supplying necessities of life to a person who's disqualified by law. All those important points, contingent and quasi contract. Then we did breach of contract. Remember what are the consists? What is breach of contract? What are damages? Important case law which you have to study is Hadley versus Baxendale. What it is? Hadley versus Baxendale. Ordinary damages, special damages. Do you remember it or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now there were three new chapters added in this from the last batch, which was Which are the three new chapters which are added? One is bailment and pledge. The second
Guarantee
one
and
is,
indemnity,
uh,
guarantee and indemnity, and
and
agency.
agency. So expect at least one question of 6 marks from these three chapters because they're a new syllabus, right? So out of the 96 marks, out of these three chapters, you can expect minimum 6 marks. It can go to 6 to 10 marks, right? So please understand what is bailment, and learn the definitions of all. Definition of bailment, definition of pledge, definition of guarantee, definition of indemnity, and definition of agency. Or definition of important part in agencies, agency under extraordinary circumstances. Correct or no? We have done some case laws on that also. They're there in your MTP and your division test paper. Did you
Yes.
understand? Yes or no? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That was the Indian Contract Act. What about the Sale of Goods Act? You understood meaning of sale of goods, contract of sale, types of goods, very important. Existing goods, future goods, contingent goods. Under existing goods, you have unascertained. Remember, USA, unascertained goods, specific goods, and ascertained goods. Then we did how sale differs from other types of contracts. Difference between sale and hire purchase, sale and contract for work and material, sale and bailment. Go through that, important. Now, the second chapter, just like the third chapter in Indian Contract Act, is very important. Other essentials of a valid contract. The second chapter, unit under Sale of Goods Act, that is conditions and warranties, is very important because it comes at least for 6 marks. What is it? Implied conditions, condition as to title, condition as to merchantability, condition as to sale by description, condition as to sale by sample and description, condition as to wholesomeness. Then there are implied warranties. Remember, implied conditions, implied warranties with case laws. What with?
Case laws.
Yes, yes.
Then you have performance of contract of a Sale of Goods Act. We understood what is transport, what is the difference, meaning of appropriation, delivery of goods, different types of delivery, actual delivery, constructive delivery, and symbolic delivery.
Delivery.
And the last one was rights of an unpaid seller. What it is called? Rights of an unpaid
Seller.
seller. Rights against the good, right of lien, right of stoppage in transit, rights against the buyer, right to sue for price, right to sue for damages, right to claim interest, what to claim interest, right? So go through this entire Sale of Goods Act. Now the third one, which was very important, was the Companies Act. The Companies Act is very important because there are certain points which you have to know. One, you have to learn the definitions of all the types of companies. I know it's a very big thing. What are they? Government company, holding company, subsidiary company, correct? Foreign company, right?
Associate company.
Associate company. Then there is dormant company, correct? So types of companies are very important. What types of companies are very important? What also is important is they'll give you cases. And I told you they can ask one question in 3 different ways. If they ask you what are the essentials features of a company, or what is the similarity between a private company and a public company, correct? Or what is the effect of registration of a company? All the 3 have the same answer. That is features of a company. Separate legal entity, common seal, correct or no? Separate property, understood? Artificial legal entity. Remember those points, right?
Yes, sir.
So if they ask you differences between private limited and public limited company, you can find out. And remember, in private company, we did RLP, restriction on transfer of shares, limitation on number of members, and prohibition of.
Invitation to public.
Wonderful. So you're becoming very smart. Okay. Also, an important part in that Companies Act is the doctrine of ultra wires. Then doctrine of indoor management. What it is called? Doctrine of indoor
Management.
Manage.
Doctrine of constructive notice.
and doctrine of constructive notice. For doctrine of constructive, and we have done different cases on each of them, right or no? Correct. Now your exam is on 15th. What time?
1:45 to 5.
1:45 to 5. So now you have today night. Today you might be a little tired. So don't overexert yourself. I know there is a lot of tension. I also used to get a lot of tension before my exam. In fact, before my exam, I used to feel like vomiting. My stomach used to burn. My heart used to. It's absolutely normal. What is absolutely normal? Everybody feels nervous. But remember, I told you one important mantra. Did I tell you mantra?
Yes, sir.
What's the mantra? Okay, I'll tell you the story. Then you'll come to know. See, when I was picked up for a debate competition in my age stand, that time I could see. Correct or no? So, one day before the debate competition, my teacher, they gave the topic. Does Indian police cater to the requirements of the public? And I got very scared because I had to speak for the topic. What I had to speak? That police is good. What police is good. In those days, we didn't have WhatsApp, Google, anything. Correct or no? And you know, Bangalore police. All of you are from Bangalore. No, most of you all. Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
If they catch you in the traffic, what do? They take you to pull a fine or they take a little. For boys, they take bribe. No, correct or no?
Yes, sir.
200 rupees, 100 rupees. For girls, you have to smile. Wow, no, and say, hey, sorry, uncle. Ah, okay, okay, okay. Correct, no? Correct, no? Girls have a little advantage, but what you can do? So I had to speak for. So I got really worried. The next day, I went to the teacher. And I told, ma'am, I don't want to take part in the debate contest because that whole night I couldn't sleep. Although I prepared for the debate, I got scared. In the night, I got a dream. I forgot my debate. And I'm running out of the auditorium, and 300 students are running behind me. They caught me and they brought me back on stage. Oh, Baba, what all dreams I had, you can't even understand. The next day, I went to my teacher and I told her, ma'am, her name was Mrs. Sequera. I was taking part for Yellow House. I was in a house called Yellow House. Correct or no? You know, you have yellow, green, red, blue. You used to have, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Which house you were, Bhavna?
Sir, I had no houses like that, sir.
No, which house then? Okay. Who had houses? Who's next to you? Brahmi?
Yes, sir.
Which you
I
were
was
in
in
any
greenhouse.
greenhouse? Huh? So we used to play green, green, toilet clean. Blue, blue, your chaddi flew. Red, red, susu in the bed. Yellow, yellow,
Dirty fellow.
dirty fellow. I was in yellow, dirty fellow. Then I went over there to her. I told her, ma'am, I'm very scared. She told, Rajdeep, I'll give you one two-word mantra to overcome your fear. What she told? What is it? She'd give me a two-word.
Mantra.
I told, what is that two-word mantra, ma'am? She told the two words are so what? What is it? So what?
What?
I told, what do you mean by so what, ma'am? She say, when you laugh, you fear appearing a fool. So what? Fools have a lot of fun. When you cry, you fear appearing sentimental. So what? At least you let out your emotions. If you hope, you fear disappointment. So what? At least you saw the brighter side of life. When you try, you fear failure. So what? At least you made an attempt. But the greatest fear of all is the fear to risk nothing. For the person who risks nothing, does nothing, is nothing, and becomes nothing. So, what are the two magic words? So what? It's okay. I'm going to try my best. So what? Might be I'll clear this time, might be I'll clear the next time. But the moment you start getting panicking and start thinking, oh, if I don't pass this time, my life has come to an end. All nonsense. Correct or no? All that is absolute rubbish. Your life never comes to an end. This is only a milestone. Foundation is one small chutty thing in your life. There are hundreds of other things which are happening in life. Correct or no? Now, to every 4 months, you have an exam, no? Correct or no? And the more you get desperate for something, that things get delayed in your life. Remember this in life. Anything you're desperate for, I have to clear it only in September. Gone. You do your best and leave the rest. God will take rest. If you do your best, God will do the rest. If you don't do your best, God will take rest. The moment you start telling God, I have to pass this time, then God will say, why? He's God or what? He'll dictate to me or what? No. You have to do your best and leave it off. Whatever happens, that results you don't have any control of. No? Do you have any control over the results? Do you have any control?
No, sir.
Yeah. So what is in your control? Studying
Writing exam.
well, writing the exam. You write your exam and leave it off. Whatever happened will happen. Don't get desperate in life. For God's sake, don't think this is the end of the world. Every 3-4 months you have an exam. Correct or no? I'm not telling don't clear it, but don't have that feeling that if I don't clear, gone, sir, my life is gone. Nothing is gone. After 6-7 years, Bhavna will still have a kid. After 8-9 years, Brahmi will still have 3 kids. So don't worry. Correct or no? Marriage will happen, children will happen, CA will happen. Whenever it has to happen after 20 years, will anybody tell you whether you passed in September or January?
No,
Bhavna,
sir.
CA in Deloitte. In Deloitte, they'll ask her, oh, you cleared in September or you cleared in January? She'll say, go, I don't remember only. Correct?
Yes, sir.
My child is only troubling me so much. Correct? I know my child is born in September. I know my second child is born in January. But I don't know about CA. What I don't know about? So forget about it. Don't take too much tension. You all put in your best. God will do the rest. But God will do the. Understood? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Relax. And we will meet in CA intermediate. What will meet in CA intermediate. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. We'll continue. In CA intermediate. I'll take strategic management for you all that time. Okay. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Bye. 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 Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Sir.